Good morning and welcome everybody. Welcome to this special announcement. We've run our 100-day reading challenge since the 10th of February and it expired on the 21st of May. And it's been absolutely amazing the support that we've generated in terms of reading and our children from the schools taking up the challenge. With just over 100 schools that have participated, we're gathering here today to announce our top three. The winners of the competition, and they will take their share of 100,000 rands worth of library book resources to make use of in their classrooms in their respective schools. But before we get there, I'd just like to share a little bit more about the purpose of the reading platform. Our vision is to help develop a reading habit amongst our children throughout the country by enabling them to have access to quality content 24/7 and not limited to the confines of the school environment. This platform enables them to read at home, on weekends, when they're away on holidays. And I think by now their teachers have been challenging them to an extent where I think a lot of them, when they walk into school, they're waiting for their teachers to say "kibooks" because they need to get down with it. But it's all with a sense of purpose. We all know what's happening in the country in terms of the reading levels for comprehension, etc. I'm not going to go into that. But the bottom line is our children want to read and they need to be exposed to quality content. And that's what we're trying to be part of the solution as far as this is concerned. Interestingly, just to give you a little bit of perspective, in the last 2 years since we've launched the platform, the average reading has been about 300 books per day across the board. Since we launched the competition, it's on average 1,200 books per day. The competition is over, and I'm pleased to see that every day since the competition has ended, the average reading is in excess of 1,300 books per day still being read, and there is no more competition. That speaks to what we're trying to achieve, and we're very excited about that and to see the trajectory of reading continuing to grow as we go along. A part of the perspective is we've got just over 100 schools, entities that participate on our subscription-based platform. That represents less than 0.5% of the total school and children's population in the age demographic of 3 to 15 in South Africa. There's about 15 million children in that fall within that age group. We're reaching less than 0.5%. And if you have a look at some of the statistics that suggest that to date, more than 235,000 books have been read. We've had more than 212,000 visits to the platform and almost 3.5 million pages that have been turned. It might sound like a lot, it might sound like nothing, but bear in mind, we've only scratched the surface of what we can achieve with this platform, and we encourage people to really explore the world of digital technology and platform as a value add to encourage children to read, not to replace the physical book. That's not what we're saying, but it's adding to that experience of developing a reading habit in a fun environment for them to really enjoy. But before we get to the actual announcement, I'd like to give acknowledgement to two entities in particular. They're not the winners, but they've done a lot of work considering their circumstances. And the first one, and I know they're online here somewhere, is the Tomorrow Trust Western Cape. It's a small community that's being served, and the Trust is really helping to encourage an impoverished community to develop reading as a skill. And all the challenges that they've faced, that entity managed to end. They secured 4th spot. They jumped 3 spots in the last 10 days, and we are absolutely thrilled about the work that they're doing, and it just shows you that anyone can have access if you want them to have access. You can make it happen. The second acknowledgement that I'd like to give, and I see they are also on here, I saw Roscoe's name somewhere, and Taryn. I'd like to give a special mention to a primary school in the Western Cape, AZ Berman Primary School. They are being looked after by Read to Rise, another non-profit entity who are vested in helping develop reading in schools throughout the Cape area. And the reason I'm singling this school out is they ended up 19th. And why that's significant, remember more than 100 entities, why that's significant is simply because they only started using the platform in May. They've had less than 20 days and they basically overtook 80 plus 90 schools to end up in 19th. Their reading rate is phenomenal. And I promise you, when the next challenge comes next year, our winners have got a new challenger, because these kids, it's phenomenal to see it. And again, it's kids that don't have all the means in the world and they are doing their utmost, but it's with support from entities like Read to Rise. So I'm singling those two out for a special mention, and that each of them will receive 7,500 rands worth of library book resources from Quali Books. So I'd like to just give a round of applause to them. Before we get to the announcement, I'd like to hand over and call my colleague and company founder, managing director, Neil Wilkin, just to share a little bit more with you.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for this opportunity. Good morning, everyone. We are thrilled to launch our brand new online bookstore during our 2023 Big on Books Book Fair. Once again, Quali Books embarks on a journey to provide the finest selection of books right at your fingertips. Books hold a special place in our hearts, igniting our imagination and broadening our horizons. And now, with our online bookstore, accessing these treasures have never been easier. However, today I want to go beyond the joy of reading and introduce something even more exciting and extraordinary. So what is this about? It's combining the joy of reading with the opportunity to benefit your school. We want to extend to you a unique opportunity to your school involving your parents, teachers, and students alike. For every purchase made from an online bookstore by parents or teachers, your school will receive an incredible 20% back in library books based on the total value spent per transaction. Every book purchased through our online store will contribute to expanding your school's library collection. But that's not all. Not only will the school benefit from this opportunity, but parents and supporters and your school will also have access to amazing discounts ranging between 30 to 50% of all the titles available. This allows parents and supporters to enjoy substantial saving while investing in your children's education. You may be wondering, how does this work? It is simple. All you need to do is to get in contact with us and take up this opportunity and request a unique voucher code for your school. Once you have the code, your role will be to actively market our online bookstore to the parents and supporters through your various communication channels. To make it easy, we will provide you with documentation containing relevant information to distribute these through your communication channels. Engage them to use the unique code while doing their purchases. By using the code, not only will they enjoy great savings on their books, but they will also actively help ensure your library gets reading resources and gets stocked with brand new books every day. This is a win-win situation for everyone involved. Thank you for your attention, and please visit qualibooks.co.za and get in touch with us as soon as possible to get things going. Thank you, Chris.
And now for the moment of truth. The announcement of our winning schools. We're excited, and without further ado, I'll just get straight into it. Representing third place, I'd like to call Andrea Dawson, the Executive Head of Schools for Pinnacle College, Waterfall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lovely.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll chat now.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And in second place, a hard-fought battle. They did extremely well. Oh, I could take all day with this one. No, we're not going to. But in second place, congratulations. Renee Jardim, representing, or she's the HOD for the foundation phase, representing Pinnacle College, Raslouw. Awesome. Awesome. Well done. Well done. Thank you. And last but not least, I think they know who the winners are, but the rest of us don't know who they are. I'd like to call upon Caroline Correa, the Deputy Principal of Pecanwood College, Prep. There you go. Congratulations and well done, well done. You've set a high standard.
We're going to win next year.
There we go. Folks, that concludes it, but I'd like to really congratulate these three schools. They did tremendously well, and they've set an incredible standard. I can't wait for next year, because I promise you this is just the beginning. The 100-day reading challenge will become a standard, and I think there'll be a lot of spin-offs as we go along, but it just shows you, and I'm going to call upon your schools to encourage other schools to take up the challenge as well. And for schools who may not have won and who did really well, call them, ask them what they did, because they clearly did something and it was remarkable. And it's interesting to note that all three schools fall under the AdviTech banner. And that says something about the organization or the entity itself, that these guys are serious. They're serious about educating their children and creating the best, churning out the best student to give them the best shot at the future going forward. So well done to you. I didn't even mention the prizing, sorry, but third place prize is 20,000 Rands worth of library book resources for your school for Waterfall. Second place, Renee, 30,000 Rands worth of books for your school for Raslouw. And for Pecanwood, you get 50,000 Rands worth of library book resources for your school. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you. And just thank you very much again for everyone who was online. I see there's a lot of comments. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope this is food for thought. And let's encourage our communities, our children, to continue taking up the challenge, because this is not the last you've heard of it. Next year we're going to go bigger and better. But thank you very much for your time and for joining us. Take care.